Another example, ASHRAE basically, and you know Jerry Lowey, right?
Yeah.
Jerry's a personal friend of mine. We worked on low frequency noise. Inside buildings, use fans. They can produce low frequency noise, and they can be such that people don't want to live in the building. Been there, done that. If that's the case, then you should be dealing with the C level and A level, showing it's not a problem. I'm not saying it's a problem, I'm saying you demand that you should show that. Just like when you basically are designing a room to an RC curve, you gotta prove it after the fact. I see very few wind farms around here that are being measured after the fact, at all. At all.
Well,
Have you measured any?
I have, not in New York, but I have measured.
Did they meet the project level?
They complied with
And the
the
project
standard.
level's 50?
That particular project level was 50, and it was at a participating home. And the issue with there was because the project level may not have been, because the project level was potentially going to exceed 50, the state required those individuals to vacate their home and enter into an agreement to vacate their home. And they wanted to move back because they didn't find the noise an issue. Not everybody has that perspective, for certain. But you know, I agree. I think it would be helpful to have more studies done and out there. There has been a study. I'm not sure if you're aware of the studies done in the UK on low frequency noise.
Yeah, I know Leventhal. We hired Leventhal in ASHRAE. And I can tell you that basically you're getting a perspective of the wind industry. You're not getting a balanced perspective. You're not getting basically peer review outside the wind farm community.
I think the work that was done in the UK was done by the University of Salford and others.
The work is being done in Canada in terms of their studies. And I agree, they're going back and forth, but it is not one-sided like you're referring to.
No, and I think Canada is looking at this in more detail, for sure. And but to my knowledge, the work that's been done on infrasound and low frequency there has they haven't identified that. You know, particularly on the infrasound issue, they haven't really identified that there is a significant issue there. Now, maybe you're aware of something different.
I'm aware of some things that basically have been done by head acoustics.
Okay.
And it's not all one-sided. Now, I'm not telling you the answer here as much as I'm saying I see a one-sided study. I see a one-sided projection for the community. This is a recipe that we want to accept. There's 50 communities that have done this, and they all accepted the same number. Well, you know what? That's equivalent to kids copying homework. They should have copied from the smartest, not necessarily the same person.
Right. No,
and so I'm not at all against what you say, and I compliment you on the quality of the presentation. It was very good.
Thank you. But I know, and I think you know, you do have to say it's a multifaceted issue, and so how do you say that you know, it's a difficult conversation to have. How do you say that somebody here who is a participant or who does control the noise source, you know, they're not affected, whereas somebody who does not, you know, does experience these, and you know, we're not saying that they don't. But so there's an attitude issue that comes into play there a little bit as well. And so
but it's worse out here because most people who live out here in the country live specifically because it's quiet. Silent night, holy night, remember that?
Right.
Silent night is out here.
Right. No, I agree. And
I mean, you can go as equivalent to an anechoic chamber in some of the places I've been.
Yeah. No, and I've done
better than the Grand Canyon that they talk about.
Right.
So.
No, I think it does. I think it definitely does occur.
I also have to comment on your poor measurement. You know, that's not really a good statistical case. If you're going in here and you're going to look at the places that are going to be most noisy, it's going to sway the results that are most noisy. And you really have to look at who you're protecting.
I think you look at both, and I don't think you average the results of all of them. I think you present them all individually.
You're looking at who you protect. The business of you guys is to come up with a law that protects the citizens, particularly non-participants. The participants have already signed and made a deal.